C.A.R.E.S is an acronym. Stands for Consistently Safe, Act Responsibly, Respect All, Engage in Learning, and then Support Others. And basically each of those tenets we work through either in class, in the cafeteria, which is a huge piece for us. There's a lot of places that it fits into the day. We kind of weave it into the fabric of the school. I think it sets them up for a very good foundation down the road. I think in working with kids of this age, you know, they often hear, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. So it's nice that we kind of put it in a very positive light and a positive spin. But it talks about, you know, being civil in the cafeteria, being civil on the playground, on the bus, and just throughout your day.
It really gets into the idea that we are part of a community, that we need to be mindful, again, of our actions and how they impact other people. It's not just about me. It's about my community. It's about acting responsibly. Who are you guys connected to, folks? Start me off.
My parents.
Your parents. Absolutely. Your parents. Good. Someone else? Brent?
Family.
Family. In general. Absolutely. If we think about these connections, and there's a zillion more, right? Because you guys make connections all the time, and some of them are, you know, definitely stronger than others. Why are connections important? Anya?
Like, if you don't have connections with something, like, if you don't have somebody to stand by you, and like what Olivia said, if you have trouble, you need somebody like to help you through the way.
By getting the kids to brainstorm and dialogue about the connections that they have within their own, you know, own neighborhoods or within their own families, and why those connections are so important. I think we can't do enough to reinforce that, because I think a lot of kids feel maybe disengaged, or that their actions don't necessarily mean other things to other people, but they absolutely do.
I think it gives the kids something tangible out of something that's intangible. What does good behavior look like? Well, we know it when we see it, but this gives kids something specific. So we give out what's called C.A.R.E.S cards, and we have a C.A.R.E.S wall, which is fabulous. You know, kids are up there with different stars and different things like that for doing random acts of kindness, some people might say, you know, if you catch kids doing good things. So I look at it as it's to do the expected, but it's often the card comes when they do above and beyond, when the kids go out of their way to do something that's really good. So it's little things like, you know, a student will be walking down the hallway and his books will fall, and all of a sudden you turn around and 3 kids are there to pick up. They're not looking for a reward of any sort. It's just, you know, it teaches civility.
To me, C.A.R.E.S is a very respectable program, and it's very good for school. Since C.A.R.E.S program, a lot of people have been a lot more respectful, caring, nice, and a lot more appreciative towards the school and the teachers and what they do for us.
The C.A.R.E.S message is reinforced through 7th and 8th grade. I think when kids understand the importance of trustworthiness and respect and caring and tolerance and acceptance, that carries over into the science classroom. I'll read a story. It usually has something to do with something going on around us. This young man is very unique. So before we go any further, what does it mean to be unique? Kids at this age love to talk about characters, afraid to talk about themselves so much. So when we have someone else we can talk about, it makes having that conversation a little bit easier.
So we're going to focus more on assertiveness today, but first we're going to talk about peer pressure. There are 8 resistant strategies that you could use when someone is peer pressuring you. Does everyone know what peer pressure is? Give me an example of what peer pressure could be.
We'd give a free service to this Mahopac School District for the 7th and 8th graders to provide continuing education from the C.A.R.E.S program from 6th grade, so we continue on to 7th and 8th. And we cover topics ranging from anger management to stress management to peer relations, how to work with peers, how to listen, actively listen to each other, how to reframe and rephrase back to each other. And this is the time students are starting to grow up and interact in more social areas, and I think to effectively communicate and socialize with each other, they need to do it appropriately in an appropriate way, and this program teaches them these different ways of doing that.
I think the more it can be ingrained in their students' mindset that this is how we act from day one, the better off and the more successful it'll be. It's like anything, it's a learned behavior.
I feel like I've learned a lot, like to, even though someone's mean to you, care about them and their feelings, and to, you know, be a part of C.A.R.E.S and be nicer to your teachers, just care.